You know what's wild? Right now, as you're watching this video, Google is bleeding out. Not slowly. Not quietly. Fast. Silently. And most people have absolutely no clue what's happening. Here's a number that stopped me cold when I found it. Google's share of how people find information online? It dropped from 89% to 57%. In just 3 years. That's not a dip. That's not a bad quarter. That is a collapse in slow motion. And the thing that's doing it? It's not Bing. It's not Yahoo. It's not some tech startup you've never heard of. It's ChatGPT. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how it's happening, why Google is panicking behind closed doors, what this means for your money, your career, your business. And honestly, whether Google even survives the next 5 years. Real quick, if you're new here, welcome to Chip and Cash, where we break down tech and finance news in a way that actually makes sense for regular people. Hit that like button right now. It seriously helps this channel more than you know. Subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next, because this topic? We're just getting started. And drop a comment below, I want to know. Do you still Google things, or have you switched to ChatGPT? No wrong answer. I'm genuinely curious. Let's get into it. Let me paint you a picture. It's 2022. Google is untouchable. 90% of the world types their questions into that little white search bar. Every single day. It's so dominant that Google it literally became a verb in the English language. Nobody, and I mean nobody, thought that was going anywhere. Then, November 2022 happened. OpenAI dropped ChatGPT on the world. And at first, people thought it was cute. A fun little toy. Something to mess around with. Oh look, it can write a poem. Oh cool, it finished my email. Nobody took it seriously as a Google killer. But here's what was happening underneath the surface. People started asking ChatGPT things they used to Google. And they got better answers. No ads. No clicking through 5 websites. No SEO garbage stuffed with keywords just to rank on page 1. Just a real answer. Conversational. Clean. Fast. And the numbers started shifting. By early 2026, ChatGPT alone is pulling 20% of total global search-related traffic. Let that sink in. One app. 3 years old. Already eating 20% of what was Google's entire kingdom. And that's just ChatGPT. Add Gemini, Claude, Perplexity, all the other AI tools? AI assistants are now generating sessions equivalent to 56% of global search volume. 56%. Google built a $2 trillion empire on search. And in 3 years, AI took more than half the pie. Still think this is just hype? Here's where it gets interesting. Google saw this coming before anyone else did. Back in 2022, right around when ChatGPT launched, the people running Google called an internal emergency meeting. The term they used internally? Code red. Think about that for a second. The most powerful search company in the history of the internet declared a code red because of a chatbot. Now why would they do that? Because Google's entire business model, billions and billions of dollars, runs on one thing. You search. You see ads. You click. Google gets paid. ChatGPT broke that loop completely. When you ask ChatGPT a question, there are no ads. There's no list of 10 blue links. There's no sponsored result trying to sell you something. You get an answer. Done. Google doesn't make a single cent from that interaction. And the more people use ChatGPT instead of Google, the less ad revenue Google collects. It's that simple. And it's that scary for them. So they scrambled. They rushed out Bard. Then renamed it Gemini. They launched AI overviews in search. They threw billions at their own AI development. But here's the brutal truth. When you're playing catch-up, you're already losing. Now I know what some of you are thinking. Okay, but regular people aren't switching. My mom still Googles everything. And you're right. Partially. Google still dominates traditional search, sitting at about 90% of global search market share for regular keyword searches. Your mom, your uncle, your coworker who still uses Internet Explorer, they're not switching anytime soon. But here's what matters. The people who are switching? They're the ones with money. The ones making decisions. The ones businesses desperately want to reach. Gen Z and millennials, anyone under 40 essentially, are using ChatGPT for research, for shopping decisions, for figuring out what career move to make, for understanding their finances. And get this. 51% of B2B software buyers, these are the people spending serious company money, they now start their research with an AI chatbot. Not Google. Before they even make a short list of products to buy. Before they talk to a salesperson. Before they even visit a company's website. They asked ChatGPT first. If your business doesn't show up in AI answers, you don't exist to that buyer. That's not a future problem. That is happening right now. And there's something else nobody is talking about. People aren't just switching away from Google. They're using both. At the same time, search behavior has fundamentally changed. People Google something, then paste it into ChatGPT to make sense of it. Or they ask ChatGPT first, then Google to verify. The game isn't Google versus ChatGPT anymore. The game is who becomes your first instinct. And for younger people, ChatGPT is already winning that battle. Okay, but here's where things get genuinely complicated. Because Google? They're not dead. Not even close. They have something ChatGPT doesn't. They have everything. Gmail, YouTube, Google Maps, Android, Chrome, Google Docs, Google Drive. 2.5 billion people wake up and use a Google product before they even have their morning coffee. And they're using that ecosystem to fight back hard. Enter Gemini. A year ago, Gemini had 5.7% of AI chatbot traffic. By early 2026, 21.5%. ChatGPT dropped from 87% down to 64% in that same period. That is not a small move. That is Gemini putting its foot on the gas. And Google's strategy is ruthless, they're embedding Gemini into everything. You open Google search, Gemini answers. You open Gmail, Gemini suggests. You open your Android phone, Gemini is right there. They're not trying to get you to choose Gemini. They're making it so you don't even have to choose, it's just already there. That's the power of owning the operating system, the browser, and the search engine. ChatGPT has to convince you to open a new tab. Google just has to be where you already are. So is Google finished? No. But they're wounded. And a wounded giant is unpredictable. Let's get real for a second. Because this isn't just a tech nerd story. This has direct financial implications for regular people. If you own Google stock, Alphabet, Google's parent company, is still a $2 trillion company. Revenue is still growing. They're not going bankrupt. But their growth story has a serious question mark attached to it now. If search ad revenue starts declining even by a few percent, that hits earnings hard. Watch the ad revenue numbers every quarter. That's your signal. If you run a business or side hustle, the way people find you is changing. Fast. SEO, search engine optimization, the whole industry built around ranking on Google? It's not dead. But it's being disrupted right in front of us. You now need to think about whether your business shows up in AI answers, not just Google search results. This new field is called AEO, Answer Engine Optimization. And the businesses that figure this out first? They're going to eat everyone else's lunch. If you're building a career in tech or marketing, understanding how AI search works is becoming a non-negotiable skill. The people who can navigate both traditional SEO and AI visibility? They're going to be the most valuable people in any marketing team over the next 3 years. This is not me hyping AI for clicks. This is a structural shift in how information moves through the internet. And when information moves differently, money moves with it. All right. The big question. Who wins, ChatGPT or Google? And my honest answer might surprise you. Neither. Or more accurately, both. But for different things. Here's what I genuinely believe is happening. We're not watching Google get replaced. We're watching the internet split into 2 lanes. Lane 1, Google. Traditional search. Links. Websites. Quick lookups. Finding a restaurant. Getting directions. Shopping comparisons. News headlines. Google owns this lane. Dominates it. Will probably keep dominating it for years. Lane 2, AI assistance. Deep questions. Research. Explanations. Problem solving. Brainstorming. Decision making. Understanding complex topics. ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, they own this lane. And this lane is getting wider every single month. The total amount of information seeking happening online? It grew by 26% in the last 2 years. Nobody is searching less. People are just searching in more places. The pie got bigger. And Google's slice, while still enormous, is no longer the only slice. That is the real story. Not ChatGPT killed Google. But ChatGPT built a parallel universe next to Google, and it's growing faster than anything we've ever seen. And we are at the very beginning of this shift. The decisions made by OpenAI, Google, Microsoft, and Anthropic in the next 12 months? They're going to reshape how every single person on this planet finds information. That's not dramatic. That's just where we are. Look, I'm going to keep tracking this for you. Every time something major shifts in this AI versus Google war, you're going to hear about it on this channel first. Because this stuff matters. Your career matters. Your money matters. Your ability to stay ahead of what's coming that matters. So here's what I need from you right now. Smash that like button if this video gave you something to think about. Seriously, it takes 1 second and it helps this channel reach more people who need to hear this. Subscribe because the next video? It's going to hit even harder than this one. And I want you to drop a comment answering this one question. When you need to find something out, what's your first instinct? Do you open Google or do you open ChatGPT? Tell me below. I read every single comment. And if you know someone, a friend, a coworker, a business owner, who needs to understand what's happening in the AI space right now, share this video with them. No cap, it could genuinely help them make smarter decisions. This is Chip and Cash. I'll see you in the next one.